G'day gents, welcome to your very first tutorial on AutoCAD. In this video we're going to look at how to construct an isometric model. We're going to be referring to page 30 or worksheet number 30 in your workbooks, and we're going to construct this simple model on AutoCAD. So the first thing I want you to do is click on AutoCAD or open AutoCAD on your desktop. So go find it and then let's open it. Right, and when you do so, it should have your screen should look like this. It's now AutoCAD is ready for you to give it the commands you want in order to get going. And what we want to do is click on New, and it's going to take us into our drawing or modeling space. Now here, the very first thing we need to do is tell AutoCAD what dimensions or SI units we want to use as we construct this isometric model. We know that we're working in millimeters. So while my mouse is hovering over the drawing space, the drafting space, I'm going to type in the word units, right? And then I'm going to press enter. And it'll bring up this little information tab. And in this, we want to go add the information that we require. You'll see that mine is already set to millimeters. Yours probably won't be if you haven't constructed anything yet or you worked in AutoCAD. Then I want a precision to a whole number. I don't want anything 0 point anything. That'll come later when we need more detail, and decimal is perfectly fine. So decimal, do a whole number, and millimeters, and okay, and we're ready to go. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is get acquainted with the isometric command. Now the isometric command is down the bottom here along these drawing tabs over here. So if you have a look at, well, these are kind of like command tabs. All your drawing commands are at the top here. So this little thing over here is your ISO draft. So that's what we're going to be using. You'll see we get ISO drafting on different planes, and I'm going to show you the shortcut to access each of those planes as we work and we build our model up. All right. But before we do that, right, what I want us to do is go to layer properties and click on layer properties, and you'll get this little tab that looks like this. Right. So I'm going to go grab the end, just move it into the middle of the screen for your sake. And what I'm going to do in this name, under name here in this little column, I'm going to right click and go new layer. And it's going to bring up an option to create a layer name, and I'm going to call this construction. Okay, I'm going to call that a construction layer, and I'm going to use a nice light color. It's not going to be too, in other words, it's not going to be too bright. So if I look down here, these are quite nice. I'm probably going to use something along maybe a blue. I'll probably go with that color over there. Okay, that'll be my, you can choose any color for construction, it doesn't matter. The line weight, I'm going to make it as small as possible, right? 0.05. And then I'm going to right click again and do another new layer, and I'm going to call this one outlines. Okay, outlines. And once I've got that ready, I'm going to stay with my the white command and go OK, but I'm going to make sure that this is at about 0.4 millimeters, because we want the line weight to be thicker, so when we print out a PDF, the outlines look thicker than the constructions. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're ready to go, and so we're going to learn how to use the ISO drafting now, and then we'll set up the construction box in which we will draw the isometric, and then we will follow step by step in a series of videos beyond this one. So the ISO draft, if you click this, right, you'll see that it changes your screen into, in this case, you've got a vertical axis and you've got your red horizontal axis on which you can work in, right? If I hold down, and it might be different for everyone, it could be F7, sorry, F7, by the way, Fn and F7 gets rid of your grid, which I like to do, right? But if you hold down Fn and F5, Fn and F5, you can see it rotates my cursor through different planes to work on. So here you can see I can work up and along this axis. If I press F5 again, or Fn and F5, I can work up, and then along the front view, right? If I press Fn and F5 again, I can work again along the parallel to the ground plane, both left and right. Okay, so for the first one, we're just going to start in that fashion. That's fine, right? And I'm going to make sure that I'm on my construction lines. And now we're just going to go set up a box in order to fit this object in perfectly. So we need to look at the total depth, height, and length. Our total length over here is going to be 100. We'll call this here the front view. So this is length 100, height is 50, and the depth of the object is a total of 50, and 15 gives us 65. So we have 65, 150. All right, so we're going to come back to AutoCAD, and in this position I'm going to F and F5 again, right, and I'm going to click on line command, right. I'm going to start at this point. By the way, we're going to click on the perpendicular command because it'll keep us within the confines of the isometric command. So I'm going to move it across to a total of 100. So let me just show you again. I'm going to click, release, drag, and I'm going to type 100. Enter. Okay. If I hold my scroll button down, okay, I have to zoom in because obviously it's really small. I'm using my scroll button to zoom in and zoom out. Then we're going to go total height of 50. Enter. Then I'm going to move back along a total of 100 again. Enter. And then drag down. Right. Then I'm going to shift my cursor, F5. I'm going to do it this way. Right. I'm going to click on that start point, move across a total of 65. Enter. And obviously come up to the height of the box here. You'll see that I've got a snap on. So in other words, if I click on this, you'll see all these snaps that I've got on at the moment, and I'm going to go ahead and add more of them. This is just making AutoCAD quite intelligent. So if you go here to your object snap settings, get as many of these on as possible, except for parallel lines that will cause a bit of a headache at some stage. Right, so spacebar to take you back to the original command, the last one you've used, or you just click line command again. I'm going to move this up a total of 50. I'm going to come back, right, and I'm going to do the same at the top here. I'm going to click, but before I click, to make this quicker, I'm going to shift my cursor again so that I can work along the top. I'm going to move in here again, move up across here, and because I've got my snaps on, it should pick up, there we go, it's picked up the length, and I snap back onto that top corner. So now we've got the construction box, for the lack of better words, in which we're going to place this object. As you get better at this, you'll find that you won't need to do the construction or set up any scaffolding in the beginning. Alright, so in the next video, we're going to start to build this isometric up from the ground. We'll start with the front view, and then we'll move across on the into the top and into the side view.